Hello bookish friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading, and for today's video I am here to come at you with the quarter year crisis book tag that was created by, hold on, I forgot to grab my phone. It was created by, I'm gonna mispronounce this name and I'm so sorry, Rosine's Reading, I think is her, how you to say her name or their name, sorry. I saw this video of this tag from Jessie over at Jessie the Reader. Anybody I mention will be linked down below. Could definitely go check them all out. Everybody knows who Jessie from Jessie the Reader is. He's one of the popular booktubers. Actually the one who got me into booktube. So hi Jessie, and thank you for doing this tag because now I want to do this. There's 10 questions here. So let's just get through the tag, and I have a bunch of books that I will be grabbing throughout the video. Of course, as always, these are always backwards, so hold on a second. So the quarter year crisis book tag is basically just like the title says, it's a book tag wrapping up how your first 4 quarters went, like from January through April. As I'm filming this is April 19th, but you guys might see this towards the end of the month, so sorry if it does come out at the end of the month. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the weekly vlogs. I've been editing like crazy for those. I have a very exciting vlog coming up for March. Like March was just an amazing month. Anyways, we're not here to talk about March. But we are here to talk about our quarter year crisis with all the reading goals that we accomplished so far, reading goals we didn't get to, favorite books, least favorite books. It's basically like the mid-year book freakout tag, but in the first 4 months of the year, if that makes sense. So anyways, let's get started because we have 10 questions. So question 1, how many books have you read so far this year? At the point of me filming this video, I've read 31 books this year so far, so yay, I'm super happy with that. A lot of them has been 5 stars lately, and I said this last year, I was like, I don't think I have a lot of 5 stars, but this year, oh my goodness, I've been reading like a lot of my series this year, trying to focus more on those, but a lot of those series I've been continuing on has been 5-star read for me, and that's been amazing. I still need to do all my monthly wrap-ups because that's how far behind I am on videos, so hopefully I'll be doing that today as well. But yeah, I've read 31 books so far, and a lot of them have been 5-star reads, so it's going to be hard for me to narrow down what's going to be my top 24 books of 2024. The next question I have is, have you already found a book that you think might be your favorite? Ooh, I think so, because I have 2 books. Well, actually 3, because one of them is from my wrap-up for April. So the one that I just read this month that I really enjoyed, and I want to shout out Jan from Jan Agneton for this, and that is So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. This is a YA fantasy, first book in a series, and this is a Jamaican-inspired fantasy that deals with sisters and dragons. Let me turn off my fan because I feel like my fan is being loud, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. But yes, this is a fantasy, first book in a fantasy series that is Jamaican inspired, and it's also about sisters and dragons and a kingdom burning. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to talk about this in my April wrap-up, whenever that will be. I read this because this was Jan from Jan Agneton's book club pick for her full moon book club that was for the month of April, obviously. This was a 5-star read. This is also a debut author, so, and a BIPOC author as well, so we love both of those information. And honestly, I am so mad at how this ended. I'm dying for book 2, and I kind of need book 2 like right now. Like book 2 should be in my hands, in this hand right here. This is going to be definitely in my favorites of the year. Another one I think that will be a favorite book of mine in the year is a sequel that I read this year, and I still need to read the finale of this one, so maybe this video will help me with that. But I think Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kemmerer would be in my favorites of the year. I don't know why it took me so long to read this book. Actually, I do. I say this every time I talk about this book as well. At the time I was reading the series, I started book 1 in like October of last year, I think, and I really enjoyed it. Gave it 5 stars as well. or 4 stars. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. This is a Robin Hood gender bent retelling of a fantasy trilogy that is now completed. You'll see book 3 here in a minute. But I honestly, the reason why I give this one 5 stars and the first one 4 stars is because I feel like the characters in this one got developed a lot more, and there was so much banter in here between our 2 main protagonists. If you know, you know. It's hard for me to talk about sequels, but just know it's a great follow-up to book 1. We pick up right where you left off in book 1 as well, so in case you were like me and you didn't know what really happened at the end of book 1, or you can't remember what happened at the end of book 1, we pick up right where we left off. And I actually have a reading vlog of me reading this book, so I'll leave my vlog up above or down below. Another book I think will be on my favorites list of this year is also another sequel, and also this trilogy I need to complete still. Beasts of Ruin by Ayana Gray. This is the second book in the Beasts of Prey trilogy. I read Beasts of Prey for my book club, Queer Reads. My goodness. Queer Reads, and I really enjoyed Beasts of Prey. It was a BIPOC author debut novel as well, and I was really surprised that it was her debut because it read like a book from an author I've loved before, if that makes sense. The characters are so diverse and the cast is amazing. I listened to both books at the moment. I listened to both books on audiobook, so the narrator, who I forgot who it is, but I'll leave it on the screen or down below, but the narrators of both books were amazing, and I cannot wait to listen to book 3 because I have book 3 checked out from my Libby right now, so I just need to pick it up. Maybe that will be my next read because I currently am not reading anything at the moment. I know, shocking. But yeah, this is a sequel, follow-up to Beasts of Prey, and I'm so mad of how this one ended too, so maybe I definitely need to pick up book 3 like now. Where did my phone go? I'm always losing stuff in my videos. Question 3, a book you read that wasn't quite a 5-star read. So basically, what books were you disappointed by? So I'm just gonna go off the bat. This is like my Song of Achilles feeling of this book. So if you know my feelings about Songs of Achilles, you know my feelings about this book. Don't come at me, booktube. I'm kind of scared to show you this answer, but Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I'm scared to tell you why. Okay, anyways, the reason why I wasn't a huge fan of it, although I did annotate it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I did annotate this book. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun, entertaining, fast-paced read, and I've already read this with my friend Lori over at the Chatty Bookworm, and we both, I think we both felt meh about it. For me, I gave it 3.5, which is a generous rating for me. It should have been a 3 stars. I just couldn't help myself but keep comparing Powerless to The Hunger Games. Like, those 2 books literally copy and paste. Well, I should say this book copy and paste The Hunger Games into here. Like, literally, there's a scene that was asking the 2 protagonists that we have, they literally asked each other their favorite color. And I was like, what? That is literally how Hunger Games went. And, like, the main character's father is dead at the very beginning of this book. This is not a spoiler. It's all in the synopsis. This is very hyped up on Book Talk, so I was very scared to read it just because of how hype it is. But overall, I give this 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I'll talk more about this in my March wrap-up? February wrap-up? Whatever month I read this. I also did a reading vlog for this, so I'll leave that video up above or down below as well. But also, don't come at me for hating this one. I have a couple other, let's see. I had a couple others that I gave a 3 stars to that I wanted to share real quick. I gave 3 stars to Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley. Reading vlog of this is going to be up above or down below. Gave it 3 stars. Is a generous 3 stars. Then this one was a 3.5, almost 4 stars, but that was Never Ever Getting Back Together by Stephaine Gonzalez. I'll talk about this in my April wrap up. And so the next question we have is, what is your most read genre of this year so far? Oh, I want to say it's fantasy, because obviously, as you can see from my answers so far, it's been mostly fantasy books. So I definitely would say fantasy, and I want to dive into more genres for myself. Mainly just for me, I want to read more thrillers. Like, I own a bunch of thrillers from Book of the Month, so I feel like I should just do a Book of the Month vlog for you guys and see how that goes. I definitely want more thrillers. So if you guys have any good thrillers, some of the thrillers I read, just to give you an idea of what I read and loved, I loved almost all of Riley Sager's books. So if there's any authors similar to Riley Sager, I have read a few Ruth Rare books, but I unhauled them recently, so they weren't as good as Riley Sager. Ooh, who else is a thriller author that I read from? I don't know. Oh, I read from Blake Crouch, but again, wasn't a huge fan of it. So if you have anything that's better than those, I guess, I don't know. But I definitely am new to the thriller genre, so definitely leave your thriller recs down below, please. And thank you. Question 6, what's a book that surprised you? A book that surprised me, especially with, it's kind of an old book, but I think it came out in 2021, so it's not as old as I'm making it sound like. But a book that surprised me this year was Jade Fire Gold by June C. Lin Tan. This was a book that I had from Owl Crate, and I had this from Owl Crate since like October of 2021, I want to say. So it's not as old as I'm making it sound like it is, but I was scared that I wouldn't love this book because it has been a while since the author released a book. I mean, she has a new book out, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I was really surprised of how much I love this. I'm kind of mad that it's only a standalone though, because I kind of wish this was a series. Although this did end the way that I felt like it would have ended, I really enjoyed it as a standalone, if that makes sense. But I also wanted more from like our side characters, or even more just of the story itself. This is an interesting mythology inspired story, so yeah, I really enjoyed this. Again, I have weekly vlogs of almost every single book I've read so far this year, so this weekly vlog will be left up above or down below. But yeah, Jade Fire Gold by June C. Lin Tan surprised me. Another book that surprised me this year was The Absinthe Underground by Jamie Packin. I also annotated this one this year, which was really fun to do. I need to start getting better at annotating my books. The Absinthe Underground is a YA fantasy sapphic love story that is Holly Black meets Moulin Rouge, and this is a fae setting story as well, so that really surprised me. I knew it dealt with fae, but I didn't know like how much of the fae world we will get into the book. I did an author interview with Jamie Packin, and I'll leave that down below. That's on my Instagram, so I'll leave that down in the description below. But yeah, this really surprised me of how much I loved it. And again, another book where I understand why this is a standalone novel, because it wrapped up perfectly, but I also wish there was more in this world, if that makes sense. So yeah, very happy that this surprised me, and hopefully you guys will pick this up. So the next question I have is question 7. What's a book that came out in 2024 that you haven't read yet but you really want to? I'm going to rapid fire this one because there's a lot. This is a portion of the video where I am just going to be grabbing books. I have Faebound by Sarah Al-Arifi. I have With a Little Luck by Marissa Meyer. I have Star Wars The High Republic, Defy the Storms. I almost said Defend the Storm. A Drop of Venom by Sinchan Patel. I'm so sad I haven't got to this because I got an arc of this back in November. Infinity Alchemist by Kaysen Calendar. I haven't read this one yet, but I definitely want to. Darker by 4 by June C. Lin Tan, the same author of Jade Fire Gold. And last but not least is Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer, the third and final book of the trilogy. those are just a few 2024 new releases. And then, of course, there's a bunch of other new releases that are coming out throughout the year. I would love to get to Playing for Keeps by Jennifer Dugan. I'll put a picture here on the screen. I also want to get to, oh gosh. I can't blink. Oh, I also have a couple of library books that helps me out. So I also want to get to Wildlore, book 4, The Night Compass. Just checked this out yesterday. And Kingdling by Tracy Shee. I can never say this title correctly, so sorry. But also Playing for Keeps by Jennifer Dugan. My goodness, my words. But yeah, those are just a few new releases that I want to get to. Question 8 is, what is one goal that you made at the beginning of the year that you're succeeding at? Right now, I would say I'm happy at the reading pace that I'm going at. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I've read 31 books out of 100 books is my reading goal for this year. So not even halfway through, but I would say a quarter of the way through. Let's actually see how much I have to read, because I'm terrible at math off the top of my head. So let's see. Oh, not 110. 100 minus 31. I only need to read 69 more books to complete my reading goal. I only need to read 69 more books, so that's amazing. So that's a goal that I'm succeeding at so far. Another goal that I am succeeding at is my A to Z reading challenges. I have like 11 letters left on the list that I have in my bullet journal. It's literally sitting over here off to the side. I have 11 letters left, and a lot of the letters are like the last few letters of the alphabet, so it's going to be hard for me to find books with those letters in the title. But I'm really happy with the progress I made with that one as well. And then question number 9 is, what's the goal you made in the beginning that you need to focus on more? For me, I wanted to read more of my library books, and then instead of buying more books, haven't been doing that. I have read a few library books. I think in March I only read 1. In February I read 3. And then April, which is the month we're in, I've only read 0? 1? I don't know. I lost track. But yeah, so far in April I've read 0 library books. So I would like to read more of my library books, especially because I have so much checked out. I have like 26 books out right now. Well, actually I have some that I'm returning literally today after I film this video. So whatever that amount is, I'll let you guys know. I also want to not only focus on reading my library books, but also try and get my TBR down to like half. Last I counted it, I had over 1,000 books, and I had like 500 of those unread, I think. That's probably like a drastic number. I'll let you guys know on the screen or down below of how many I actually have unread, because I made a spreadsheet on my Google Docs recently of like all the books I own in this bedroom right now, and I highlighted each one that I have unread and each one that I have read. So I'll let you guys know how much that is. So I want my TBR down to whatever number. Let's say 100 if it actually is 500. I want to read more of my library books instead of buying more books. And then I also... I also have a bunch of Owl Crate books and a bunch of Book of the Month books that I need to read still. So 3 goals that I put in the beginning of the year that I'm kind of filling at right now. And then question number 10 is, recommend a new booktube creator, content creator. So I don't know if she's actually new. I don't think she is, because she has a good amount of followers. But in case she's new to you, I would definitely say check out Stephaine from Stephaine Bookverse. Yeah, Stephaine over at Stephaine Bookverse. I recently discovered her because she was a co-host for the season-a-thon rounds that Mel over at Completely Melanie does, and she was a co-host for the most recent round, which was Spring Into Reading of 2024, and I love her content. I love the way that she was during the readathon. She reads very similar to me, but also a little bit different. She reads more adult fantasy than YA, but occasionally she'll read YA and middle grade books, just like I do. And also I just found out recently that she works in a hospital. She's like one of the nurses that helps people get like checked out and all that. Like they get help, they help them out heading home, I guess. I don't know. It's complicated to explain, but she's a nurse that works in a hospital, and if you know anything about me, nurses are just very important to me and important to everyone else. But I really love Stephanie's content. Another one that I've been loving, she's not also new, but Donna over at Mom's Book Collection, definitely check her out. And also Lori from the Chatty Bookworms. So those are the 3 content creators I feel like I have been loving lately. So yeah, that's it. There you have it. That is a chaotic quarter year crisis book tag. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. And I'll talk to you guys later. If you want to do this tag, you have been tagged. I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you all have a great day or night or not. The choice is yours, and happy reading. Love you guys.